It's like tonight, you have to start asking more questions than you can give answers to. Nights like tonight, when you should have gone out against what is an inferior opponent and won the football game, you couldn't. It is not necessarily opinion. It is the truth. Guys, quite frankly, before the Harlem Berry run, before Harlem Berry busted off a long run there at the end of the fourth quarter, LSU had gone through almost 4 quarters of football and had 85 yards rushing, 85. And I understand that Braylon Moore's injury, while very significant, is going to be a conversation that you and I have to talk about, right? It's a conversation that you and I are going to have because of the simple nature of how big it is, right? I don't think that Braylon Moore's absence, however, is as big of a deal as what you saw from the offensive line, especially from the other 4 positions. Guys, quite frankly, you could get 0 push regardless of what you were doing up front. And there was a conversation going into the week. Does this team show up lethargic? And the question that I had was, if they do show up lethargic, what does it look like? Now, guys, tonight we're going to talk about what happened on the field. Clearly, we're going to talk about what happened on the field. But when I look at this and say, well, Southeastern rushed for 128 yards versus Louisiana Tech, and I look up and you ran the football for 128 yards your damn self. It's a joke. Let me repeat what I just said. Southeastern ran the football for 128 yards on Louisiana Tech a week ago. Tonight, you ran for 128 yards on Louisiana Tech. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say. Well, Florida lost, so it is what it is. No. Games are won and lost in matchups. Now, we're going to talk about a lot tonight and recap this game, and by all means, I pray to God that for once, our internet holds up, knock on fake wood, because last week it just surely didn't. But my internet from last week could have had a better running game than what we had. There are a couple of things that we're going to address here tonight. I do think you're too predictable offensively in calling plays. Quite honestly, sometimes I have no idea what you're doing in the run game, and I think you get too cute. You have to get north and south in the run game, not east and west. And I know that you're trying to do specific things to be able to counteract that. But guys, to be honest with you, Louisiana Tech gave you a lot of stuff offensively. They had 12 penalties for 130 yards. That's not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. So the bottom line, as we start off here tonight, Southeastern Louisiana had 128 rushing yards. So did you tonight. I thought you looked lethargic. Not defensively, outside of a blown coverage by backups that were in the game. You put in backups, they blew a coverage, you gave up a touchdown on 3rd and 17. But guys, at the end of the game there, you have 1st and goal from the 3. 1st and goal from the 3. You can't get 3 yards. Nor do you try to spread them out to get people outside the box. You try to get physical with them when they are out physicaling you. You got to make it make sense. So there's a lot that we have to talk about tonight, unfortunately. Some conversations that you can't have versus Clemson because you're coming off of a massive win. Right here on this thing, this little phone, at 9:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, it's got multiple probably like 7 clips of where your offensive line got whooped by Clemson. The conversation that you might want to have with yourself was, well, you know what? Clemson struggled with Troy today, and we struggled with Louisiana Tech. Who are we? And that's a great question that we're not going to have the answer to here tonight. Everyone do us a favor. Hit the like and share. Share to all those groups if you're on Facebook and to all those social media pages. You're watching us, listening to us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notification bell, and wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. There's a couple of ways you can get involved in the show. You can send in a super chat. You can become a new member of the YouTube channel like Ricky Pope did here. Thank you so much, Ricky. We greatly appreciate it. We're not too far away from doing some members-only content on YouTube. But you can become a new member. You can send in your super chats or wait until the end of the show, and we'll do some live call-ins. But we do have some super chats that are already flying in. What we normally do is take them at the end of our breakdown here. So you can send them in. We'll go through all of them. Thank you to all that sent the ones in last week. If you wanted that read, we did it in the take 2 of the post game. So thank y'all so much. That's how you can get involved into the game. Do us a favor, hit the like and share. There's only one break in this post game show, and we're about to get to it. Guys, every post game show is brought to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. My parlay did not hit today. I told, if you've watched this show, I'm doing a $1 20-leg parlay every week with our good friends over at FanDuel. Florida screwed me. Of course they did. But go over to FanDuel today, sign up. Maybe those Heisman Trophy odds for Garrett go up or down. I don't know. Does your national title odds go up and down? I do not know. But if you have some discretionary income, go over to FanDuel. Want to have some fun? It's a great place to do that. If you don't have the discretionary income, it is of my opinion that you have no business being over there. FanDuel does so many things to help out those that need assistance. You can call 1-800-GAMBLER, or you can go to FanDuel.com/RG. But if you want, during this football season, NFL starts tomorrow, you can go bet on some games and go have some fun. I think I'm going to start posting those 20-leg parlays, by the way. $1. Florida screwed me. By the way, if Oklahoma does hold on, maybe I would have been 19-1. But Florida definitely screwed me here. So it is what it is. Let's get to the game here. Let's waste no time. Again, send in the super chats if you want your comments read for 100% certainty. You can wait until the end of the show to call in if you want to do that as well. First drive of the game, LSU loses the toss. Louisiana Tech wins it and defers to the second half. The first run is a Caden Durham dive right up the middle, and Braylon Moore got his ankle rolled up on. The worst injury you could have had along the offensive line came while your center was on the field. Braylon Moore is by far your best offensive lineman, and we can't go anywhere until we talk about Braylon Moore's injury. I'm sure Brian Kelly is going to address it. I'm sure he's going to talk about it. At the current moment while we're live, I do not know of his status. What I would tell you is we just got to wait for Brian Kelly, unfortunately, for that, and that is just the truth. Let's see what also happens with Trey'Dez Green. The Trey'Dez Green one worries me a little bit more than the Braylon Moore one. I think Braylon Moore might be able to shake it off. But, yeah, looks like Mississippi State just intercepted a pass to win it here, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, you're not here for Mississippi State. But good wins for Oklahoma and Mississippi State, what it looks like. But in reference to Braylon Moore here, it's very significant. I don't really want to speak on it until we know the status of it or what we know really is going to happen. You can go two ways. Either he comes back, he's not fully healthy, and you got to pray to God that he can hold on. Number two, you cannot have DJ Chester as your center. I thought he played not great tonight. Did not get any push, nor did he get vertical in the run game, which hindered you a lot. Kind of got pushed around against a head-up nose that he's got 35, 40 pounds on. Don't know the status. It is significant. If he doesn't come back, then we're going to have a long week of conversation. And regardless if he does, we're going to still have the conversations regardless of what Brian Kelly says about the health status of Braylon Moore. Brian Kelly could come up there Monday and say, yeah, he's going to be full and good to go. I do not care. What we're going to do is we're constantly going to talk about it because I think it's going to be significant. Trey'Dez Green's injury is very significant as well. I hope it's not that bad, but guys, it did not look good. I just hope it looked worse than what it actually is, and I'm sure we'll figure that out. But the biggest deficit run of the night is Braylon Moore and Trey'Dez Green, I guess two of them, going down. 6-yard out route to Nick Anderson, makes a really good catch, got to extend for the ball, makes the catch and goes for 6. You got 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Caden Durham goes for 3, and LSU would pick up the first down. The very next play will be a fade route to Barion Brown that is tipped away and intercepted. Guys, a better pass, you might go for 6. I know the telecast talked about that. Garrett just massively underthrew it. Looked like he kind of lollygagged the throw, like, hey, I'm just going to throw it out to Barion. He'll be there. I don't know what Garrett was doing. It's a horrible throw. It's a horrible throw. And I really don't know what else to say about it. It looked like he didn't care about what the coverage was, that he was going to throw it to Barion no matter what. Guys, 3 people were in the vicinity. A corner and 2 safeties were in the vicinity of the throw. It got tipped away by the corner and picked off by a safety, and a back boundary safety is there that could have made a play as well. Guys, it's a bad decision. It's a horrible throw. If you lead Barion, he's fast enough to where he could get it. So maybe the decision wouldn't have been as bad if you didn't underthrow the ball, because they're playing deep regardless. And guys, you saw tonight, which we're going to get to a lot tonight. Guys, don't tell me you couldn't get vertical. Don't you dare fucking come in here and tell me you couldn't get vertical when on the first play you had 2 guys deep, 2 safeties deep that are in the general area and Barion beats them off of the football and you just underthrow it. You underthrow it. It's a horrible decision. It's a horrible throw. The only reason it's not a horrible decision is if you make a better play to show that it's not a bad decision. But anytime you throw with that many bodies around and you don't get the completion, I mean, it's just a horrible decision. It's a really bad decision. I would just say probably the first really, really bad decision of Garrett Nussmeier's season came tonight. And it certainly came in that opening drive. So he's intercepted. It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you just got to be better at it. You got to know that you got to make that throw deep. Guys, you have 2 speed guys on the outside. Why Chris Hilton's not playing, I don't know. They're trying to do too much with guys that they paid, if I'm being honest. You can get the ball to Barion Brown because he's good. I get what you're trying to do with Xavion. You have no vertical presence. You gave Florida nothing. You've given nobody nothing to show that you can get the ball vertical. That's why when you're going sideline to sideline, everybody knows what you're doing and why you can't run the football. They don't respect you. They don't respect you. So not good at all. LSU's defense forces a 3-and-out on their first possession. A 1-yard run by Wiggins, complete pass on a rollout left, an out route for 8 to Singleton, and then a Kukuk incompletion, to Amari Wiggins on 3rd and 1, forces a 3-and-out, and you punt the football. The football was punted 21 yards. Horrible punt. Guys, you got the ball at your own 41-yard line. What I'm going to hear from some people tonight is you had really bad field position, okay? The problem with the really bad field position is that you got the ball on your own 41. Your own 41. Like, it's not horrible field position at all. So you should be able to counteract Go out there and run the football a little bit to go get a field goal at minimum, which is kind of what you did, but it was really lethargic. Second possession for the offense, Caden Durham goes on a zone read for 5 yards. He's given by Garrett Nussmeier for 5. Really good game there. Durham on a check down goes for 2, brings up about 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. On a little whip route from Xavion Thomas on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, goes for 11. Like the sequence there. Hey, want to get the ball out quickly? Get Xavion Thomas one-on-one on a guy on a short route where he can juke him, get him out of his shoes, and get him on a whip route. Whip route is 3 yards, 2 yards, then run out. Nice little whip route by Xavion Thomas. Goes for 11, and you pick up a first down. Zone read for Caden Durham where the end is not blocked, and he gets no gain. Guys, Garrett didn't pull it, and they didn't respect it. He didn't pull it, and they didn't respect it. So, I mean, that would happen a couple of times tonight. Pass interference on the very next pass by Louisiana Tech. And let me get the number of the guy. I guess it doesn't really matter who it was to, I guess. But pass interference by Louisiana Tech. Juwan Johnson was the intended target. So another first down after a 10-yard penalty. No huddle goes LSU. Xavion Thomas on the run right, but a 5-yard penalty for an illegal formation by LSU. Let's start right there. You kept shooting yourselves in the foot. These stupid-ass penalties like in the first half against Clemson and tonight are arguably stupid. Regardless of that, you get a run for 1, but you got to back it up 5 yards because you don't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. So dumb. Absolutely so dumb. I have no idea what was happening there. But it is what it is. 1st and 15. RPO to Xavion Thomas on a slant. Gets dropped, hits him in the chest. Got to catch it. Got to catch it. I mean, you got to catch it. Guys, we're not even remotely close out of the first quarter, and we're already 20 minutes into the show. You got to catch the football. I mean, the ball cannot hit you in the chest as a receiver at LSU and you not get taken out. I love Xavion. Can't happen. Love that he's getting carries. Love that you're doing some stuff with him at the running back position. He's been very explosive there. Guys, I got to be real with you. You talk about 8 wide receivers deep. Well, then go show me somebody else. Because God forbid Chris Hilton do that, and you're going to take him out. I don't know why. I don't know what Cortez's rotation is. Kyle Parker comes in. The little Kyle Parker seals on these runs where they motion him and they let him block on the end line of scrimmage. What are we doing? What are we doing? But he would have a pair of drops tonight. I say drops, the one in the end zone where he could have caught it and he doesn't. Then he jumps too early and he misses it. Guys, you keep running out players that, okay, I've seen Xavion. Xavion can do some things. He can be in that rotation. Don't take out Xavion for Kyle Parker when I got Chris Hilton on the sidelines, or Nick Anderson for that matter. You're rotating too many dudes in. You can be 7 or 8 deep at wide receiver. But my God, you got to be able to catch the football. This is LSU. The occasional drop is the occasional drop. But guys, against inferior opponents, you just showed, even on the second drive, that you're not locked in. I hate that for Xavion. You got to catch the football. It's a lack of focus. Let me fast forward before we get moving here. The lack of focus would happen in the fourth quarter when you muff a punt and you got bailed out on it. Really and truthfully, Barry Brown was the only one that I felt like that didn't come to play around today. Got to catch the football. God, that would have gone for a first down. You're in the red zone. Middle screen to Aaron Anderson. Gets tackled for a loss. Weston Davis goes down. Looked like Weston Davis was making a really good block, kind of got the wind knocked out of him. Not going to talk about that. They knew the middle screen was coming. Guys, once you put that stuff on film against Clemson, teams are going to run. Here's the thing about people during the week talking about getting conservative. Guys, they're only going to practice what you've been running. Maybe some things you did last year. They knew the middle screen was coming. Kobe Fields, who was on your roster a couple of seasons ago, knew it was coming. He was all over the place. You had no answer for him. Guys, all week, especially on Thursday, we talked about in Keys to Victory, the best unit, the best side of the football, or the best unit overall for Louisiana Tech, their middle backers. They have really, really good speed. What you don't need to do is attack them because they will go out there and make plays on you. And all you kept doing was try to attack them. That's why every time you're getting separation on the boundary or deep over the middle of the field where they're horrible at safety. Guys, they're god-awful at safety. Newsflash, they are. And you're trying to attack the one position that they're really freaking good in. They know it's coming. But it is what it is. 3rd and 17, a drag route by Nick Anderson goes for about 4, which would line up for a 51-yard field goal where a timeout is called. Now, Damian Ramos did kick it, but he was short. Should have been the signal there to put in Aaron Burrell. I got to be a little honest with you. I said this during camp. It went unnoticed. I want a kicking battle between Aaron Burrell and Damian Ramos. What are we doing? Damian Ramos, after the timeout, would line up for a 51-yard field goal and shank it to the and miss it to the right. Guys, you had 2 possessions and you look god awful. You look god awful. You have an interception. You have multiple penalties. You have a couple of times where you have missed mistakes. The Xavion Thomas mistake. I mean, just what are we doing? What are we doing? Guys, you didn't play like the number 3 team tonight. I'm sorry, you didn't. But you look lethargic. You know, against opponents like this, you should be coming out guns blazing. It looked like you all went out to the bar last night is what it looked like. But a 51-yard field goal is missed. Defense back out on the field. Wasn't hurt because your defense was really stellar. On the first play, they get a quarterback counter run that goes for 17. Looks like a defensive tackle got on the field late. They had an open alley. They went for 17 yards. Guys, it was probably the best play for them of the night outside of the blown coverage. You got a run for 1, a tackle for loss on the next 2 plays. I thought Patrick Payton played with a lot of hustle. Multiple times, Perkins, Pyburn, and Payton were in the backfield making plays in the run game. So 17-yard run, a 1-yard run on an inside dive, and then a tackle for loss by a host of LSU defenders. Finley, the tight end, over the middle on a little leak-out route, goes for 6, tackled down by the Weeks brothers. Then you would force another punt. So 2 possessions, 7 plays for this defense. Really good punt, though, by Louisiana Tech is downed at the 2. So then you're like, all right, man, you have 2 really bad possessions offensively, 2 really good stands defensively, and a punt that gets ended at the 2. I think we need to stop here and just preface this next drive in the first quarter because the last possession or the 3rd possession for you offensively, guys, was actually pretty good. You had to go 98 yards. You ran up 5 minutes of time of possession, and it's a long drive, and it's difficult to do against anybody. I thought that at this point, I'm like, all right, you're going down the field to score. You do, and you'll kind of get things moving. Guys, this is the best drive that you've had all season, considering the yardage and what you did. But after you got this, you just didn't care. You honestly didn't care. And it's a shame because you had 2 85-plus yard possessions offensively that led to 10 points. It's not bad at all. It's a lot of yardage for not a lot of points, but it's a lot of yardage, and I get it. But, guys, this was a really good drive. So I've kind of poo-pooed on them the first two drives, but this last drive in the first half was pretty good. Caden Durham, inside dive, run for 2. Guys, your interior offensive line got dominated tonight. I don't want to hear that, well, we're facing off against a 3-3-5. Guys, guess what Ron Roberts, the DC of Florida, what his base at Southeastern when he was the head coach, guess what it is? Guess what it is? Do I have to tell you? It's all Ron Roberts ran when he was at Southeastern. Good googly moogly. I mean, I get that you're only getting 2 yards. You're at the 2-yard line, but my God. Insane. Bauer Sharp on a rollout to the left for Garrett Nussmeier is incomplete. Nuss kind of got a little flushed. I thought you got away with a holding call by Tyree Adams. I don't think you get away with that next week. I really don't. But a run for 2. Nuss rolls out left, misses Sharp on an incompletion. 3rd and 8. A dig route by Barryon Brown. Gus Barryon had a really good game tonight. I'm going to pull up Barryon's stats. I don't know what he went. Barryon had 8 catches, 94 yards. None bigger than this 19-yard gain that he had on a dig route to get you out of your end zone. 16 yards. Barryon's really good, man, and you need to get him the ball more. I think he's your best offensive weapon right now. I know a lot of people would say Xavion. I don't think Barryon can do what he needs to do until you get Chris Hilton out on the field. I don't. I legitimately don't. Because you can't utilize his speed and what he does when he gets the ball in his hands until you push those safeties out. I don't get it. But a really good route run by Barryon Brown. Excuse me. And a really good throw by Garrett Nussmeier goes for 16. Nuss gets pressured on the left side. He gets flushed right. He hits Thomas on a comeback for 15. Thought Garrett and thought he felt pressure moderately well in the first half. He just continues to get flushed. Just a really good play by Garrett there. Very, very good play. Jackson on a dive run for 1. You can't run the football on a shitty team. Brown on a hitch route for 10. Thought you really just got things going. When you're getting Barryon Brown the football and Xavion, I know it's a busted play, but a really good throw by Garrett. You get 16, 15, and 10. Guys, you're talking about 40 yards when you started off at your own 2-yard line. I thought finally in this drive you kind of started opening some things up. I really did. But then you had an overthrow on Barryon Brown on a drag route. Guys, nobody is in his general vicinity. It's just a couple of steps forward, couple of steps back. That's got to get connected. Very next play, LSU has an illegal shift. If they don't understand where they need to be lined up in motion, and you've had multiple of these illegal shifts and motions, then quite honestly, you need to do something about it. Either stop moving or get guys in there that know what they're doing, or you're not getting through to the players enough so they know what they need to do. When an offensive coordinator is trying to call plays, it is his number one job for everybody to know what they need to do. You've had multiple of these situations where you do not know where you need to go. It happened against Clemson. It happened again here tonight. And every time that you kept getting really good yardage, you kept shooting yourselves in the foot. This is the kind of stuff that I feel like that you see with a brand new offensive coordinator and a brand new quarterback, regardless of age, regardless of year. You should not be having these mix-ups and issues when you're second year with an offensive coordinator and a second-year starter. He should know where everybody needs to go. If you're having issues with not knowing where you need to go, then go to a fucking huddle. You just keep shooting yourselves in the foot. But you get bailed out. Xavier Thomas motioning in the backfield on an outside zone read that would go for 38 or 48, excuse me. Because when you're using and utilizing Xavier Thomas out of the backfield, I think he can do some really good things. The problem that I think you saw tonight after this long run by Xavier Thomas where he hits the edge and he gets vertical and goes for 48, it's a massive play, yes. But I think teams now, especially Louisiana Tech in the second half, they knew what you were doing when he went in the backfield. They knew it. Why are you not play actioning off of it? You didn't do it last week. You did it once this week. But teams know what he's going to do. After the long run, you got to have something to counteract that to where you can hit something deep. I love the long run, but I'm telling you right now, teams are going to know what you're doing. Xavier continues to impress on some of these long runs, and it was a really, really good one. Kane Durham, inside zone for 5 yards. Would get you closer to the goal line. You'd be second and goal after that. So Durham run for 5. Nussmeier flushed to the right side, misses Aaron Anderson in the end zone. Just a little out of reach. Got to make a better throw there. Got to make a better throw. Third and goal from the 7. Nick Anderson on an in route, kind of a busted play. Garrett moves up in the pocket, throws it to Nick Anderson into his hands. Touchdown. Hands to the face. A penalty was called on Louisiana Tech as well. Really good decision. Really good for Garrett to spot Nick Anderson. Glad Trey Green backed off of it, and Nick Anderson was able to come away with the touchdown. So Tigers go up 7-0. You had the 15-yard penalty, so you kind of did an onside kick. Kind of like try to kick it right at somebody and try to get the football back. Guys, I don't hate that. They were not going to score on you with your full first unit. I don't mind the onside kick. It didn't set you up for good field position, though. You just went on a 98-yard drive. Why not kick the ball deep and get a 3-and-out so your offense can go back out there, hopefully with a short field? I don't mind the onside kick. I don't mind you being aggressive on special teams. What I do mind is when you did it. I know you just had a long drive. You kind of want to go for the knockout punch here. You get their defense back on the field, and then you could really knock them out. You really could have delivered a death blow there. I don't mind it. I just wish you would have done it at a different time. Because you kick the ball deep, they get the ball to 25. Your defense, for what it's worth, by the way, would force another punt. But the problem is you give them really good field position, and then they get sparked for what will be probably and arguably one of the best drives of the night. Wish you just would have done it to get better field position. All right, second quarter, LSU's up 7-0. An 8-play drive for Louisiana Tech. Pass is complete to Robertson on a swing pass, on a bubble, for 5 yards. A zone run for 2 yards. Bernard Gooden blows up the guard and kind of gets there before the line of scrimmage, but running back falls for 1 or 2. Play action. Roll out right by Louisiana Tech. Tight end in the flat goes for 6. You have a first down. You have a hitch route, which was kind of surprising. They went right at DJ Pickett. Hitch route that goes for 9. Pickett misses the tackle, but Cooley is there to clean it up on the hitch. Zone run by the quarterback. Power. I didn't see a guard pull, so I'm just going to say zone run. Quarterback run to the right goes for 2 and a first down. A timeout by Louisiana Tech, and then they would come out an all-out blitz, and they throw a couple of pair of slants. They were just trying to connect on some short stuff to move the sticks and keep the football. Not bad, but when you get 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, you're going to keep the chain or stay in front of the chains, and that they did. Pickett on the short side boundary comes on a blitz, forces a bad throw by Louisiana Tech. Really, really good play there by DJ Pickett. Thought he could have gotten the sack there. Looked really good when he was doing it. Looked really athletic when he did it as well. 3rd and 5 for Louisiana Tech, and a swing pass goes for 1. Wes Weeks runs down the running back. Louisiana Tech would have to punt the football. So not a bad drive for you defensively. One of the only non-3-and-outs that you would have on the night. Wish you would have had better field position, because then you're going to have to go down and try to kick or try to put another long scoring drive together, and you're only up 7-0 in the second quarter. All right. Next possession in the second quarter, or first possession for the offense in the second quarter. Outside zone versus Xavier Thomas is dropped in the backfield for a -2. Left side and right side for that matter, but left side of your offensive line just got pushed around. They got pushed around. When Xavion's coming into the backfield, as we just discussed in the drive before, they know he's running the football. Guys, when they know what you're doing, they can be incredible regardless of who it is. You got to do something to counteract. Do a play action to Xavier. He gets the long 48-yard run. You turn right around and give it off to him. They know it's coming. God, wouldn't it have been great to fake the Xavier run to the left, have a tight end leak or run a drag behind it, and throw a drag route. Everybody's flowing one way, go the opposite way and hit a drag to Bauer Sharp or Trey'Dez Green, and for all I give a shit, throw it to Barrion. Get him out in space. Guys, go back. I don't even have to go back and watch the film on this one. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to clip it and post it on socials. The second Xavier Thomas run, they're all flowing left. They know he's running the football. They know he's running the football. Little tight end leak, man. Little tight end leak could have been big yardage. But a tackle for loss of 2 on the Xavier Thomas outside zone run. Slant route to Barrion Brown goes for 12. Just really good, man. I mean, he had a really good night. Again, offensively, I felt like the only person that was there that kind of gave a damn was Barrion, for what it's worth. When you're on a shitty team like Kentucky, you probably don't really try to take these kinds of games for granted. It's just the truth. Bauer Sharp in a little leak to the middle on a check down, goes for 8, breaks the tackle and goes for 8. Really good game there. Aaron Anderson on an end around goes for 1 yard, but had a face mask by Louisiana Tech that would give you a first down. Under center, play action, Garrett Nussmeier. Can't find anyone, is flushed right and has to throw a ball away. Guys, really good play. You go under center, you try to take a shot, nothing's there, roll right, throw the ball away. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. We will look at that play and say, oh, it's a busted play, not any good play. Okay, sure. But at least you were able to roll out of the pocket and throw it away. Live for another down. You got 65 more other plays that you can run in the game. It's not a bad decision. The problem is what you're going to do after it. Aaron Anderson on a screen goes for 5. Looks like Trey'Dez missed a block there. Might have gone for 6. There's only one other defender that Aaron Anderson had to get past if you make that block. Xavier Thomas on the outside run breaks the tackle and goes for 6. You get a first down. Fade route to Hilton on a pass interference, which would be one of his only targets of the night. Thomas on a slant is missed by Garrett, and he was wide open. Can't do that. Can't do that. Run for Durham for 3 for a first down. We'll give you 1st and goal from the 8. Caden Durham on a zone read on 1st and goal goes for 2. On 2nd and goal, you try to do a wheel route to Trey'Dez Green, which is missed. How do you miss a dude that's 6'7"? I do, for what it's worth, believe that Trey'Dez had a pass interference on him. They didn't call it. But how do you overthrow an out-of-bounds guy at 6'7"? Guys, I really think the flag wasn't thrown because the ball wasn't catchable. Guys, it landed way out of bounds. You got to give Trades Green, God rest him. I have no idea, or God bless him, I should say. Excuse me. I don't know what his injury status is. Maybe some of y'all can tell me in the chat, as Kelly said, what Trades Green's injury status is, because I have no idea. But regardless, you can't miss a guy that's 6'7". You just can't. You just can't. I'm looking it up now. Brian Kelly says center Braylon Moore and Trades Green will have MRIs tomorrow. Both left Louisiana Tech game. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. Trades is I could see a video here. He's on the sideline in a brace and crutches. That's not good, guys. That's not good at all. It's not good for Braylon Moore either. Better figure it out, because he is your red zone weapon. That's not good. I don't know how you miss a guy that's 6'7". 3rd and goal. Brian Kelly's got to call a timeout. You almost had a penalty. Nuss was trying to get a checkup in the line. Didn't work and didn't see the play clock. Brian Kelly's got to call a timeout. 3rd and goal from the 6. Nuss is rushed. He is flushed to the right. Tries to get Kyle Parker involved. Ball that has got to be caught. I don't care anymore. That's got to be caught. You're flushed. The ball hits you in the chest. I know you're going down. Is it a tough play? Yes. You come to LSU to make tough plays. Really, players at wide receiver at LSU have got to make tough plays. Sorry. You got to battle at wide receiver, and you can't find anybody the ball besides Aaron Anderson and Barryon. You got to make plays. Who's your third wide receiver? It is Xavion, but you got to make that play. Could have and should have gone for 7. It is not. You get back in the red zone again, and you can't get points. Stop right here. How many times in the offseason did we talk about your red zone possessions needing to be better? You're not good in the red zone. You're just not. I remember a lot of the media during spring saying, "Oh, we're cooking in the red zone." No, you weren't. You were lined up at the 1 yard line. No, you weren't. You got 2 passes there that one's got to be thrown better and the other's got to be caught. And you're not even trying to run the football because you can't. Pushed around by Louisiana Tech. What a joke. All right. 23-yard field goal by Damian Ramos is good. You got to kick a field goal from the 6 yard line. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. 4th possession for the defense. In back-to-back plays, Louisiana Tech gets a 5-yard inside zone, and then 9 yards inside zone. Then they get a 1 for a first down. So 3 plays, 3 runs, gives you about 15 yards. You move the chains on one of them. Swing pass to the running back. Wes Weeks runs it down. You're able to get the stop. You first force a 3rd and 9 for Louisiana Tech. Harold Perkins gets in the backfield, misses the sack, but you're able to get together, and the Weeks brothers clean it up, and you force a punt. How many punts are you going to force before you get more than 10 points? How many punts are you going to force until you get more points than 23? How many? Because guys, we haven't talked shit about the defense tonight, if you've noticed. We're 47 minutes into this thing, and we barely talked about the defense. Hey, here's the truth. Defense, you just went out there and clapped their cheeks. Offensively, you're lethargic and you look like shit. Mental mistakes. Not good. Counter run by Harlem Berry goes for 11. Really good run by Berry. Has to break a tackle at the line of scrimmage to get the 11. And it goes for a first down. Xavion Thomas on an outside run goes for about 3. Gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. Has to break a tackle to go for 3. Barrion Brown on a quick hitch goes for 4 that forces a 3rd and 2nd. Caden Durham on an inside zone run goes for 4, and you pick up a first down. It would also lead to the 2-minute drive. RPO slant coming out of the 2-minute warning, or 2-minute timeout, as they call it in college football. But the 2-minute timeout or RPO slant by Nick Anderson leads to a pass interference by Louisiana Tech, another first down. False start by Harlem Berry. I don't know what he was doing. Looked like he got faked out by the first little fake clap of Garrett. He falls forward. They call the flag. Can't have it. Can't have it. Caden Durham check down for 7, and you're starting to get a little bit in business. Garrett Nussmeier is rushed. He kind of just crinkles over and then gets sacked for 9. Really bad sack. Oh, excuse me. No, this is not the crinkle. This is the rollout where he takes a sack. But 2-minute warning, you got to throw the ball away. You can't get sacked. You got to get out of the pocket. You're in 2-minute. You just cannot take a sack there. Sorry, Garrett just cannot do that. It's not I don't listen. Let me tell you what I don't want to hear. I can live with Garrett moving around and trying to move around and get sacked and blame the offensive line. What I cannot live with is you giving some time and not trying to move around and then getting sacked when you're in 2 minutes. Throw the ball away. You're already rolling right. You got a big enough arm. Check the ball down at somebody's feet or throw the ball away. You can't take a sack for -9. Can't do it. 3rd and 17. Garrett can't find anything. He gets flushed to the right. I guess you could say he gets flushed to the right. He's got a 3-man protect or 3-man rush. He has no rush. But he rolls right anyway, and he throws the ball away on 3rd and 17. What are we doing? What are we doing? I know you've been on the field a lot offensively. I know that you had 10 points on a 98 and then an 85-yard drive. I get it. You got to go start putting people away. Jesus. By the way, the sack forced you out of field goal range. Why are we trying to connect on something deep on 3rd and 17 instead of trying to get some yardage to kick a field goal? I don't understand it. I don't understand the sequencing of play calling. I don't get it. You can't take the sack. You can't give up the pressures, and you got to call something when you're in 3rd and 17 and you know you're not going to get it. Let's go get 9 yards. Let's go get those yards back and line up for a field goal. Because you punted at your own freaking 40. Imagine getting 9 yards. Shit, Ramos had the leg from 51. He just missed it. Line it up again. Better than punting the football. Horrible way to end the half. 5th possession by the defense ends in a nil down. LSU win the half up 10-0. All right, let's run through the second half pretty quickly here because it was complete ass. 6th possession defensively. Wes Weeks on a dive play hits the running back in the backfield for a tackle for loss. Tight end on a little leak out over the middle goes for about 2. 3rd and 9. What am I missing here? I'm missing something. Hold on. Bear with me. All right. Wes Weeks on a tackle for loss. Finley, the tight end, over the middle. Oh, okay. I know what this is. Tight end over the middle would lead to a 3rd and 9. So you have 3rd and 9. You had a pass to the right that was incomplete. Whit Weeks, gets hit with the penalty on the late hit out of bounds. Jacoby and Guillory also had a hands to the face as well. Louisiana Tech had a holding call, but because you had the 2 penalties, they offset it and gave them a first down. 3rd and 9, man. 3rd and 9. I can live with that. I mean, it's the only bad thing defensively that happened, but I can live with it. Short pass over the middle to the tight end on a drag route for 5 yards. A run for 5 yards that would lead to a Louisiana Tech first down. Kukuk, pass complete over the middle for no gain, would bring up 2nd and 10. You would do a quarterback power for 3 yards that would lead up to 3rd and 7, and they would run a quarterback power again on 3rd and 7, and we get 2 and 3, and they would punt. So all in all, I mean, I guess a decent drive. I mean, they didn't do shit. The only thing that happened was that you hit somebody out of bounds that gave them a first down. So you basically got 2 3-and-outs in some regards. Got to clean that up. Can't give teams more life here. All right, first possession for the offense coming out of the half. Caden Durham is hitting the backfield after the left guard and right guard got obliterated in the backfield for -1. Guys, I know that we keep talking and there's a consensus that we have an issue at left guard. Here's the truth. You got an issue at right guard too. Time to rip the Band-Aid off. But it's the truth. Guys, Caden Durham's special. What do you want him to do when he's getting hit in the backfield? I have no idea what y'all want him to do. But that was our running game tonight. That was our run game. Barryon Brown on a hitch route that goes for 9, and then on 3rd and 2, a whip route from Xavier Thomas, the same play that you ran in the first half, goes for 4, the first down. A drag route by Aaron Anderson that goes for 23. Really, really, really good deep drag by Aaron. Really good sense of pressure from Garrett. Makes an elite throw, probably his best throw of the night, that leads to 23. You got to find more ways to get deep drags and stuff to Aaron Anderson. I think we're trying to be too cute in the run game instead of just getting our playmakers the ball in space. If Aaron Anderson here's what the halftime adjustment should have been. Run everything to get number 1 and number 6 the football. They didn't do it enough. I mean, guys, they didn't do it enough. Aaron was pretty much held in check in that first half. The first real time that you go to him outside of the screen pass goes for 23. Let me ask this question. Because I have 7 stars. I don't know why I put 70 sons of bitches. But I have 7 stars on the Aaron Anderson drag route. What took you so long to get your best player on offense to football? What took a half? Legitimately, I'm asking. What took a half? Why did it take that long for you to be able to find a way to get Aaron Anderson the football? I don't know, but I'm glad that you finally did. It goes for 23. He's wide ass open. Better throw. He might have been able to go a little bit more, but a really good throw, I thought, steal by Garrett. Lead him a little bit more. He might have taken it for a little bit more. Xavier Thomas motioned in the backfield on a dive that goes for 4. Not a bad run. Put your head down and get 4. Reverse to Barryon Brown that goes for 15. Just get your – I don't think that's a bad play call. I mean, but you're getting your playmakers to football, and they're making plays. Who would have ever thought? So you get Aaron Anderson and Barryon Brown involved, and you have 2 15-plus yard games. Who would have ever thought? Really good play design. Really good execution. Caden Durham on an inside dive goes for 2. Just can't run the football. Guys, the interior of their defensive line was trash. Southeastern ran all over them in the second half, and you couldn't do anything about it. 2nd and 8. Here's where I thought was another bad decision. Garrett Nussmeier is flushed left. He had about 10 yards that he could have ran for the first down, and he decides not to. He decides to heave up a 40-yard pass on a broken play to Chris Hilton where a guy was in coverage, and Chris Hilton's got to bat the ball away so it's not intercepted. Garrett's got to run the football there on 2nd and 8 on the first drive of the second half. Go pick up 10 and get down. Go pick up yardage and get down. The likelihood of you hitting Chris Hilton on that pass is not likely. Why not go get it? I thought it was a horrible decision. Horrible decision by Garrett. Horrible decision. Got to run the football there. Forces a 3rd and 8. Nick Anderson, on a drag route. Somebody got confused. Caleb Jackson tips the ball in the air, and it's missed. Looked like from Garrett that was a problem with Caleb Jackson. If he doesn't know the plays, get him out. But why are you running a drag route in front of the sticks? So, guys, I thought you should have picked up the first down there. I thought the drive should have kept going. Garrett's got to run the football. Like, on a broken play when you're flushing left and Chris Hilton, who's on the far right hash, has got to sprint in the end zone all the way to the far back pylon to knock a ball away, Garrett should give Chris an assist and a high five and tell him thank you. You got to run the football when you got 10 yards ahead of you. You've been struggling all night. You've been clunky. You've been bad. Give your team some life by just going and run the football and picking up a first down. Got to be honest. Guys, I mean, I guess you can say that the drive is I don't know what you can say, really. But you had your 2 massive plays from Barion Brown and Aaron Anderson, and then you went away from them. Garrett's inability to not want to run the football in certain situations has got to change. I thought he did a great job against Clemson doing it. Great job. But you got to have the social awareness to know that, hey, man, Chris is streaking around. I have a defender in the end zone. The likelihood of him making that catch is not probable. And he's going to have to make a ridiculous play. We've been clunky all night. Why don't I go run and get 8, 9, 10 yards and get down or get out of bounds? But you just keep shooting yourself in the foot. And I have no idea why you ran a route in front of the sticks. I really don't. You would have to punt the ball away. Incredible. 7th possession by the defense. A fade route is missed. Mansour Delane is in coverage. You're just not going to complete that. Dive run by the running back from Louisiana Tech goes for no gain. And then a sack on the Louisiana Tech quarterback, Patrick Payton, on the rush. West and Whit Weeks there to clean it up and get the sack that would force a 3-and-out and a punt. How many times are they going to punt before you have more than 10 points? They have 4. 2.5 quarters, and they have 4 punts, and you have 10 points. Louisiana Tech. It's not, it's god-awful. It's god-awful. Speed sweep, jet pass, pop pass to Barion Brown to the right, goes for 11. Wonder what happens when you keep giving Barion and Aaron Anderson the football. I'm gonna say it all night. I'm gonna say it all night. What happens when you get 6-1 the football? Because have we mentioned one time when you've targeted your best 2 players that negative shit has happened? No, because it didn't happen. Juwan Johnson on inside zone run goes for no gain, hitting the backfield by Kobe Fields. God, he was all over the place. Deep drag route to Aaron Anderson goes for 13. Little behind him, but he makes the catch. You start off the second half. You have 4 explosive plays. I call them explosive. Let's back that up. You have 4 big plays by Barion Brown and Aaron Anderson. You have a 15-yard jet, or 11-yard jet, a 15-yard reverse, 2 drag routes by Aaron that, guys, in total got you damn near 100 yards. Damn near. And you go away, you keep going away from them. I don't get it. Guys, it's not like it's not like you're up by 60. Guys, you're up by 10 points at this point. Why they kept going away from it, I have no idea. But thank God Caden Durham is a dog. That's all that I know. Caden Durham on 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, and 3rd and goal. Inside dive, inside dive, inside dive. It took him the 3rd time to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Tigers would lead 17-0. Guys, it took you 3 tries against Louisiana Tech to get in the end zone. Just abysmal. Abysmal. I do not get it. I do not get it. 8 possession by the defense. Another 3 and out. You force 3 incompletions. A middle screen, a rollout left on an out route that's incomplete. Mansour Delane on the first 2, out in coverage for both of them. Why people think that they can throw at Mansour Delane is idiotic. How did you not watch LSU's game last week and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't throw the ball at number 4? So stupid. Quick hitch is also incomplete. Guess who? Mansour Delane in on the coverage. Why are you throwing why in the hell? Guys, why in the hell? Why in the hell are you throwing the ball at Mansour Delane? 8th possession offensively. Pop pass to Aaron Anderson goes for 6. Barrion Brown on a hitch route for 12. Guys, I'm going to keep saying it all night. I don't know what else you want me to say. You're getting them the ball, you go away from them, and your drive stalls. I just don't know what else you want me to tell you. But it's going to continue to be the truth. God, this is so just absolutely amazing. I do not understand it. I do not understand it. All right, so after the pop pass and the hitch, you go into the 4th quarter up 17-0. Barrion on a deep drag route is dropped. It's a high throw. He's got to jump, go behind his body, and miss it. And he misses it. And then you took him out. So the one play that you explode on him, it's a drop because it's a bad throw behind Barrion Brown. Why not go right back to it? I don't know. Jackson hitting the backfield for -1. Trey'Dez Green hurt on the play. Oh, I don't like this thing with Trey'Dez Green, man. I really don't. It's not good. Got rolled up on, and it sucks because your left tackle just got abused, man. Got abused. Just don't. I don't. Not good. Not good at all. Send the text to see what I can find out on Trey'Dez Green right quick. All right. So deep drag missed. Trey'Dez Green hurt on a tackle for loss on Caleb Jackson, who was hitting the backfield. Aaron Anderson on a drag route goes for 16 on 3rd and 11. Imagine getting your best players of football and them making really good plays. Pop pass to Aaron Anderson goes for 3. Caleb Jackson called for a hold, makes it 1st and 20. Barrion Brown on an in route. Nuss almost got picked, but a really good throw threaded the needle, goes for 22. Screen to Thomas goes for 6, and a drag route to Parker is incomplete. In the back of the end zone, it is a badly timed jump. Pop pass to Thomas, -5. Then Garrett Nussmeier is sacked. Really, really bad sack. Again, every bit of your offense is coming from number 1 and number 6. Every time that you're not going to number 1 and number 6, you're not getting productive yardage. What does that keep telling you? Guys, in the chat, tell me. I mean, I can keep repeating myself. We're going to continue to do it. I got 3 other possessions here that I really don't feel like going over. I can keep doing it. But Every single possession, you're getting the ball to Aaron and you're getting the ball to Baryon. And when you stop, you just cannot be productive moving the football. A lot of the same versus Clemson. You're trying to do stuff with other playmakers. I get it, but they're not getting it. You're not getting it done with the other guys based off of what you want to do. You're just not. You're just not. Guys, you've scored 40 points in 2 games. 40. If I would have told you that you only scored 40 points in the first 2 weeks, if I would have told you during fall camp, that you would score 40 points, 40, in the first 2 weeks of the season, you would say, all right, well, we got blanked probably by Clemson. You're just not getting much going outside of 7 or outside of 1, 6, and sometimes 29, really. And sometimes 0. It's the only thing you can do right now. You're way too predictable. But the pop pass going for negative yardage to Thomas. Nuss took a horrible sack. He just can't take that sack, man. I mean, I get eating it, and I'm glad he kind of did in a way. Don't force anything bad. But he takes the sack there, and it just completely kills the drive. You have a 46-yard field goal that's good. So you go up 20-7. Or 20-0, excuse me. I mean, guys, offensively, it would just continue to be abysmal. You would force a 3-and-out defensively, another 3-and-out. So you have, let's see, in the second half, you have 1, 2, 3. Guys, in the second half, you forced 3 3-and-outs. They ran 9 plays on offense in the second half to start it off. You got a whopping 10 points. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. How can your defense against Louisiana Tech force 3 3-and-outs to start off the second half and you get 10 points? So you get the field goal, you have to punt, you get a touchdown and a field goal. You get 10 points off of it. Guys, you're leaving 11 points on the field. You're leaving 11 points on the field off of stupidity. Not good. All right. So after the field goal, you would force a 3-and-out. They had -8 yards. They had a false start. They had a run for 2. Blake Baker comes in and has 2 incomplete passes. They have a 5-yard penalty, and they have to punt. On the 3-and-out, Xavier Thomas muffed the punt, and they had an illegal formation that forced Louisiana Tech to punt the football away again, and you got bailed out. Just overall, just so sloppy, dude. Way too sloppy. Way too sloppy. You start off, I'm just going to end it here, really. I mean, you would get a field goal later, but you would not score another touchdown. Your second to last possession offensively, you had a false start by DJ Chester. Harlan Berry goes for 1. Garrett Nussmeier is sacked for a 10-yard loss by Christian Davis. He has an incompletion to Xavier Thomas, and you have a 50-yard punt by Grant Chadwick. Just not good enough. Simply not good enough. The only scoring drive of the night for Louisiana Tech, I mean, guys, you ran in some backups, and they just pieced a couple on you. Quarterback had a couple of runs. You did have a sack, but you gave up the 33-yard touchdown on a blown coverage by some backups. And it is what it is. I wish you would have pitched the shutout, but when you play guys that don't know what they're doing, you're going to give up bad plays. The last drive you offensively would lead to a field goal. Harlan Berry would get a massive run in there. I think it was like what was the Harlan Berry run? I forget how long it was. But a really good one, and you'd line up for a field goal and end it. Let me get to the last drive here before we start getting to super chats and stuff like that. Guys, the last drive for you offensively, you would get to the goal line. You're up 20-7. You would have the ball at 1st and goal after a long Harlem Berry run. You would get it to the 3-yard line. 1st and goal from the 3. You would run 3 plays in a jumbo package, and you couldn't get 3 yards in Louisiana Tech. It encompasses your whole night. So, let me give you my thoughts and observations as we're coming out of a postgame. We're directly out of the game, and so here's my thoughts. We'll get to super chats and phone calls. Number one, you have a problem along your offensive line. I think that some of the things against Clemson got covered up because you had some really special athletes make some really special plays. I think you have a problem at guard. Both. I don't think you're getting enough push in the interior. I don't think you're getting any push at all. I think what is translated from camp didn't show his head as much as it probably did against Clemson because you won. Because you have not been good in the running game the last 2 years. I think you're a little too innovative at times, and I think that you just aren't physically ready. Guys, you let a Louisiana Tech team push you around up front in moments and times. There is no reason why you as an LSU team should not be able to line up and run the fucking football. I'm sorry for the language. That is the truth. You should be able to line up and run the football on an inferior opponent. Guys, this team is not good. I don't mean to be rude to Louisiana Tech. I really don't. I know that they play with a lot of heart and a lot of effort. They're not good at all. And you allowed them defensively and moments and times in your run game to push you around. Southeastern Louisiana last week had 128 rushing yards on Louisiana Tech. Tonight, you had 128. I don't want to hear DJ Chester. You do not know ball if you are only blaming one person for your run game. I'm sorry, you don't. It is a schematical issue at times. It is a play design thing at times. You're trying to run counter to the weak side of the field. What are you doing? Everyone knows that Xavier Thomas is getting the football by now. You're in week 2. I don't want to hear anything about Caden Durham. Because, guys, quite honestly, this has been a problem for 2 years. Actually, a year and 2 weeks. You were 107th, 108th in the country in rushing. I'm not going to keep arguing with people who want to say it's 107th, even though the NCAA website says you were 108th. You were 108th in rushing. And guys, quite frankly, I can't believe I got to say this. Your physicality is going to come into question. Now, I know what you're about to say. Well, Blake, we play Florida next week. You're right, you play Florida. Florida's defensive line did not lose them the football game. Their offense did. Their offense did. They kept getting short field after short field after short field. They kept forcing field goal and field goal and field goal after short yardages. Guys, their defense is not the problem. Their defensive line is not a problem. You gave up 7 sacks to that unit a year ago. 7. And quite frankly, I don't know if do I think that you can beat Florida? Clearly. Yes, I do. I think you can beat every team on your schedule moving forward. Clearly. Yes, I do. What I don't know is if you want to line up and punch somebody in their fucking mouth. That's what I don't know. What I don't know is if you have the mentality to line up and punch somebody square in their head and say, not tonight. Tonight, for 4 quarters, I'm going to bust you up. Because, guys, quite honestly, inside zone run is inside zone run. It is. You ran basic dive plays, basic dives against Louisiana Tech. I don't want to hear a 3-3-5. Guys, they got 6 guys in the box. Sometimes you're in 12 personnel where you have 7 dudes to block. I don't want to hear it. So, is your offensive line ready to go? Because you're not going to go anywhere without them. You have a lot of really good special players along the defensive line in this league that you got to play. I don't give a shit. You can throw Florida in my face all you want to. Caleb Banks is a dude. I don't care that Billy Napier continues to find ways offensively to crumble his program. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that you can't run the football. And quite honestly, your best offensive lineman might be down. Your biggest freak of a weapon at tight end might be down. And quite honestly, if I am this team, if I am this staff, I am looking this offensive line right in the face and say, do you want this? Are you going to continue to be the reason why people keep pointing the finger of why LSU can't succeed? Because right now, guys, when I look at it, my brothers in Christ and my sisters in Christ, you ran for the same amount of yards as Southeastern did on Louisiana Tech, and you want to come in here and tell me that you don't have a problem. You've had a problem. You had a problem last week, but you don't want to address it because, look, can they get better? They did do some good things. Tonight, they didn't. Guys, tonight, the long runs that you had and the runs that you did have come off of skilled players that are being special. You're getting no push. I would assume that at some point there's going to be a conversation that needs to be had about Brad Davis. And I've already seen some super chats that are in here that probably we're going to have to address it, which we're getting to next. But the bottom line remains, the number one topic of conversation is that your O-line is a question mark at best. At best. Defensively, let's turn to some positives. Defensively, you're fucking good. You're good. I don't question the heart of the defense. I question the heart of you offensively as a team. Defensively, guys, you were very basic. You sent some pressures that you did last week. You did nothing special. You're better than them. You knew that you were. And guys, quite honestly, you gave up. Here's the second half. 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out. Hold on, let's go to it all. 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt. The touchdown drive, okay? So one good drive, 3-and-out punt. So one TD drive with backups in and 4 other 3-and-outs. You generated 13 points total in the second half. It's not good enough. Let's go to the first half. Why don't we? The first half, you forced, okay, so we had 4 3-and-outs. You forced a 3-and-out. You forced a 3-and-out. And they nailed the football on one of them. So of 11 possessions, you have 6 3-and-outs and a kneel down. You generated a whopping 23 points. These are the kinds of games that discourage a fan base. They discourage everybody. But here's a good thing. Now you really got to lock in because you weren't locked in tonight. Championship level teams know how to go out there and take it to an inferior opponent. It was all I could do this week to come out here and say, guys, this team, this Louisiana Tech team is awful. Guys, they are awful. They're awful. And you played around with them. A team that has defensively, you have this mentality. But as a team, I question if you have the mentality of a killer. Because this isn't a pity pat league. This isn't a beta male league. This is an alpha male league. And it's discouraging. Here's the thing. The good news in all of this is that you're 2-0. How do you correct your wrongs will be the question. All right. Let's get to a couple of super chats. Frank Castle with a $5 super chat says, Alex Atkins needs to take Joe Sloan's job already. My only worry for the season has justified itself. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you need to figure something out in the run game. And I don't know if you have the personnel up front to do it. I honestly don't. And that stings. But Sloan has not answered the questions that he probably needs to answer here, Frank. Ian Robinson with a $10 super chat says, thank you, says, we kept an OC who was stripped of play calling responsibilities and are surprised that our O-line still can't block with the same O-line coach. Make it make sense. Brad can recruit, but his coaching is throw up emoji. So listen, here's what I'd say. In the beginning of fall camp, I came out here and said that when Brian Kelly got involved in play calling and had a play sheet on the sidelines, he couldn't walk it back. Meaning you can't say to the public that you don't think Joe Sloan's getting it done enough. Be a part of the play calling situations and then walk it back. I don't think last week Sloan did a bad job of play calling in certain situations, but you held on and you had a couple of plays that you kind of got some breaks on. Let me give you an example. The couple of PIs that Trey'Dez Green got, I think you got some breaks. The one along the sidelines, and I thought the one in the end zone was clear pass interference, but the one on the sidelines, I don't think was a catchable football if we want to be honest. With all of that being said, it doesn't look like it needs to look. What I hate from people, here's a massive pet peeve of mine in media. What a massive pet peeve of mine is, well, why don't you go out there and do it better? I have not made a career after being a guy that calls plays. What I can tell you is, off of the knowledge that I do feel like I have, I don't understand what you're doing in the run game. I don't understand why you're running counters to the weak side of the field when you don't have numbers. I don't understand why you're jumboing everything up instead of creating space and getting guys out of the box. You're already not physical enough. Why are you bringing people in the box when you're not physical enough? That makes no sense to me. You're letting a wide receiver go on, and I know that Kyle had a massive block against Clemson that sprung Caden Durham. I get it. But why, if it's not working, do you keep ramming your head up against the wall? He's not going to – they know that when he goes in motion on the end line of scrimmage behind a tackle, what you're running. They know what you're running. Guys, if you keep doing stuff, they're going to pick up on it. They're not idiots. You're not good enough to line up and run the football over and over again with the same play and think people are not going to know. Let me tell you what's going to happen. I love Carter Bryant to death over at Power Hour. He does a really good film study. There's going to be these outside zone runs where he's going to blame Paul Mabenga or Josh Thompson, whoever he's going to blame. Guys, the reason they can't get to him is because, number one, they're faster, but number two, they know that the outside run, Xavier Thomas, is coming after you just bust a big run on him. Like, I don't understand why after you had a massive run with Xavier, why you wouldn't come behind that and fake and play action off of the outside zone run and then have a tight end or somebody dragging across the other side when you have everybody flowing to the left and hit something to the right. Like, those are simple things. You did it last week to Trey'Dez Green, and it picked up 9.5, and then you would run the ball for 1 yard and you get a first down. It led to a TD drive. They know it's coming. So I don't know. Hendo with a $5 super chat says, someone needs to ask BK about Brad Davis. Don't care how well he recruits. What does he teach on our guys in practice? 4 and 5 stars against Louisiana Tech. Yeah, they're gonna keep getting. So thank you, Hendo, for the super chat. They're gonna keep getting that question. They're gonna keep getting that question, and I think it's a deserved question. Like Brian Kelly went out to SEC Media Day, said, "I'm pretty bullish on our offensive line." Well, you're not bullying anybody. So you can be bullish, but you're not bullying anybody. You can't line up and get 3 yards on 3rd and goal from the 3 against Louisiana Tech. And you got to know that if you're not physical enough, the worst thing that you can do is bring everybody in. I don't know if you're just trying to keep the game close. I don't know if that's your game plan. I don't know what you're trying to do. But against a team like this, what you should be trying to do is getting those younger guys some reps. Guys, this is not a good team that you played. They're not. Because they were winning at halftime against Southeastern 3-0. 3-0. This is not a good football team, and you ran for the same amount of yards as Southeastern. I can't keep saying it. It's not good. Andrew, I'm sorry we missed your comment here, but thank you for the $10 super chat. We greatly appreciate it. Rick Pope with a massive super chat. Thank you. And a member on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Offense D-, Garrett C-, Sloan an F, giving the Dabo grades here. Garrett was not crisp. Please tell what speed means because I didn't see it when in these wide receivers. Hilton needs to be benched. He doesn't want to play. What did he do? What did Hilton do that he needs to be benched? This was between the heartbeat and life support. I would just ask Ricky, what did Chris do or not do where he should be benched? He's already benched. You get what I'm saying? Like he's not playing. I think he should play more if to counteract this. I think he should get more looks. Like I'm gonna have to. I don't want to say push back. I don't agree with that. I mean, listen, you're not getting vertical. If you hit Barryon early, teams are not going to respect you until you do it. They're trying to run out Xavion. I get it. Xavion's made some good plays. Utilize him when you need to utilize him. But I don't know if Xavion's an every down receiver. I don't know if Chris is an every down receiver, but you haven't shown me what he can and can't do because you're not putting him in the game. What it feels like outside of Xavion, with getting Nick involved, with getting Barryon involved, and clearly Aaron, that I don't have a problem at all getting Barryon the football, nor do I have a problem, clearly, if you've been listening to the show the whole time, do I have a problem with getting Aaron involved. The problem that I have is that I do think that you have some other weapons that you just don't want to utilize for whatever reason. Either you're punishing Chris, I don't know what you're doing. But if we think that the Garrett Nussmeier, when he's rolling left and should have ran for a first down on Chris, I got another thing to tell you. That's not on Chris. He's got to come from the far right hash to break the ball away so that it's not intercepted for the second pick. I don't know. I don't know. Ricky with a couple other super chats here. Ricky with a lot of super chats here. We'll try to get to all of them. He says, my offensive players of the game, both Anderson's, Nick Thomas, Barry, Durham, and especially Brown. I don't disagree with Aaron. I don't disagree with Xavion Thomas. It's a lot of players of the game, but Brown for sure. I'm with you there. Ricky also says, why are we not running screens? I think because we didn't run screens tonight because the 3 times we ran them, they got blown up. That's what I think. I don't know, but it's a good question. He also says, can we go to the portal right now? No. Wish we could. Need some offensive linemen, though. Thank you so much, Ricky, for all the super chats. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. LSU fan with a $2 super chat says, pray for Tradez and Braylon Moore. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Let me check, make sure nothing is I don't think we're going to get anything on Tradez Green or Braylon Moore. I mean, BK said they need MRIs. I don't think we'll get anything tonight, but not good, man. I don't think Trey Dez's look good at all. Cole with a massive super chat here. $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Cole. Greatly appreciate it. Says, so LSU and Clemson are both overrated, and or the games are influenced by the money on them. Either way, hope everyone is doing well. I don't think you're overrated. I'm not there yet. I don't think you're overrated. The worst thing that could have happened is that you and Clemson laid out outright duds today, which you both did. You both did. Clemson got in a dogfight today with Troy, and you look like what you look like versus Louisiana Tech. Maybe you are. But guys, that would mean that you have 4 losses or 3 losses in the next 10 games. It's doable. This offense, if this offensive line shows up, you can lose 3 games. If this O-line shows up, you can lose 3 games. Shit, you can lose next week. Shit. Ricky says, follow the money, Blake, all you need to do. I do think that they're playing guys. Well, here's the problem. I think Barryon deserves it. I don't know. I don't know if Nick Anderson right now has done anything, whether it be camp or right now, that he deserves it. But they're giving his rep. They're giving Chris Hilton's reps to Nick Anderson. Guys, that's just a bona fide truth. Like they're. I mean, come on. So, I mean, listen, I can only say how many times that they went vertical in camp, and they're not doing it now. I guess they went vertical in camp because they knew that Garrett couldn't get hit. Javon Jackson says, is it time to have a conversation about Brad Davis? Or it's time to have a conversation about Brad Davis. All right. Well, then let's do it then. What's the conversation that y'all want to have about Brad Davis? I do think that Brad has done a really good job at recruiting. I have some confidence. Josh, no one's not having confidence. I should say this. You normally lead off post games like this. All of these are 1-game sample sizes. There's no way that you can look at the offense and you scoring 40 points the last 2 weeks and say that have some confidence. No. What you could say is, do they have the ability to do it? Yes. But hoping and wishing upon a star does not make things get better. I hope I'm a real boy when I wake up. Pinocchio, there ain't no special wishes. You scored 40 points in 2 weeks. It's not good. You're not good right now on offense. There, I said it. In reference to Brad Davis, I think he's done some really good things in recruiting. I don't know if the developmental part's been there. I don't know if you can look at this team and say that the last 2 years and 2 weeks, or last year and 2 weeks, where you've just done respectively well in the run game. You have to, I mean, guys, you should have been able to line up and run the football on them. They are that bad. You let a 270-pound nose tackle push you around up front. So, I mean, I don't know what the answer should be for the Brad Davis thing. What I would say is yeah, I mean, you got to be better. You got to be better, because I think from fans right now, patience is running thin. Thumbs up or thumbs down in the chat. Is your patience running thin? That would be my question. Ricky Pope says, I'm questioning Garrett and what he said last week. I'm not here for accolades, only a championship. Really, play like one. Your character is in question now, Garrett. I don't know if I can go that far, Ricky. I appreciate the super chat, but I can't go that far. I don't think he wanted to go out there and stink. And I don't think he really stunk, really, completely. But if you look at Garrett's night, he went 26 of 41 for 237, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I mean, guys, you ran the ball for 3 yards a carry, 3.8 yards per carry. Caden Durham had 13 rushes for 29 yards, 2.2 yards per carry. Garrett did not have a great night. I don't think he had the best protection, but he seemed off. He did seem off. Thank you so much for the super chat. Bro 337 with back-to-back super chats. $5 one on this one says, all these long balls to Hilton in spring in my Ron Burgundy voice, I don't believe you. Throw it to 6 or 1 until they're doubled. I agree. They were doing it, bro. They were doing it. They've gotten away from it. Nick Anderson wasn't there during spring. He was injured. They were doing it. They're not doing it now. Guys, they did it at the end of the season. They did it against Baylor. They did it against Oklahoma. And now they just, for whatever reason, are not going to Chris Hilton. And when Chris Hilton comes in, everybody knows what you're doing. You got it. Guys, next week, early in the game, you need to throw a quick slant to Chris Hilton and hope it goes for 9 or 10. Because as soon as you do that, you can run a sluggo, a slant and go, and they're going to bite in on it, and he's gone for 6. But everything in the keys to victory that I wanted you to do, you didn't do. You didn't do. If you're struggling offensively and number 6 and number 1, Baryon and Aaron, are lighting their ass up, why in the Sam hell are you going away from them? Why are you going away from them? It makes no sense. Broad 337 says 12 was wide open twice and got terrible footballs. I don't think the second one was terrible, 337. I think he jumped too early. The first one, I would agree that it wasn't great, but I think you got to come down with that catch. It's not going to be a great pass when your quarterback's running for his life and he's got to make a throw. You got to make a play. I mean, it's not easy. I don't blame him for the first one. The second one, go back and watch it. He jumps way too early. Chris Hilton's the thing. He easily Chris Hilton's the thing. All right, a couple more, then we're going to get to the phone lines here. Survivor's Remorse with a $2 super chat says need to be open competition at left guard, and right tackle. All bad. I don't think that they got guys there that can take those jobs. Here's what I'd say. Where's Carius Kern? I think the first question Brian Kelly needs to be asked in his press conference on Monday is, what's up with Carius Kern? I think Weston Davis, here's what I'd say. We got to be patient with Weston Davis because there are multiple times on film on this phone right here, right, Schmear, where I got multiple times Weston Davis dominating. What I can live with a couple of bad things happening because I think he's going to be better, and I think he's going to get good with every game, better with every game. I thought he did some things tonight that were pretty good. I need to go back and watch it. I don't think your interior offensive line is good at all right now. I don't think they're average. There were a lot of runs in the second half where Peter Woods made us. I mean, I wish I could show it. I'd get copyrighted. But guys, Peter Woods in the red zone ragdolled us twice on both left and right guards. And Caden Durham's like, oh shit. It's the truth. Ben Williams with a $5 super chat says Sloan needs to be gone, but Kelly does not have the balls to do it, though. I have questioned Davis's ability to coach. Great recruiter. Then that's not good because Not good, because if you're going to recruit and not develop, it doesn't matter. Alex Corville says, what's up with Hinton? I think he means Hilton. Is he hooking up with Grace Kelly? Come on, man. Let me ask y'all a question. What are you seeing from Chris Hilton? He had one fade route where he got tackled before the ball got there. And then he had the throw where Garrett should have run the ball, where he's got to come from the far right hash to knock the ball away so it doesn't get picked. That's his 2 plays of the night. That's the 2 times that he got the football. He drew a pass interference where he got tackled before the ball got there, and then one that he had to make a play on because Garrett made a horrible decision and a horrible throw. I'm not trying to be rude here, but what do you want him to do? I got to be a little real with you. I don't know where what's Chris Hilton playing bad is coming from. I really don't get it. He hadn't played. You can't play bad if you're not playing. So, Ricky says, how about Kearns at center? Kearns can't play center. He's too big. He's too slow. He can play guard, though. He can play guard. I think it would bring some physicality to your offensive line. I really do. Greg with a $5 super chat says, real issue is we don't know what to do with ourselves when playing with a 1-0 record, LOL. I'll see myself out. Yeah, losing ain't easy. Winning and having success isn't easy. Were you drinking your own Kool-Aid this week? It's a real question. Survivor's Remorse with a $2 super chat says Peter Woods whooped Josh in the run game. Yeah, Josh did not have a really good game against Peter Woods. At all, really. Did not have a really good game against Peter Woods. But you're able to survive it and get out of there. Can you survive A&M? Can you survive Ole Miss? Can you survive Florida? Can you survive South Carolina? Can you survive Oklahoma, who beat Michigan tonight? I mean, those are the questions that you have to answer yourself. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I did not get my eyes on the Vanderbilt game at all. At all. I saw that they were up big, though. I saw that they were up big. I do not know. I do not know what that final score was, and I didn't watch the game. All right. Before we wrap up, let's get to some phone calls here. 225-435-9387. 225-435-9387 is the phone number to call. It is right here. Every postgame show is brought to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. Go over to FanDuel.com today. Sign up today. Got some discretionary income. You can place your bets. Over at FanDuel, have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Go over to FanDuel.com/RG for more. Again, 225-435-9387. I'll put it in the chat right now. 225-435-9387 is the phone number to call. You can call inside now. I hope that we don't mess this one up like we've done in the past. But you can call in for to the show. You can call into the show. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to? All right. You're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Faisal. How are you, buddy?
What's your name, bud? I couldn't hear you.
Faisal. Faizal.
What's up, Faisal? What'd you think of the game?
Hey, man. You're going to have thank God to be the first caller because you're going to have me for a while.
Oh, no, I'm not either.
I talked to you last year as well. I watched all your shows, so thank you for all of that.
Thank you for joining us.
First and foremost, I'm just going to go in order. So let's start with Nuss. Nuss is an experienced quarterback. He's played SEC long enough. As you stated, it's Louisiana Tech. Bro, there were some fucking boneheaded plays. Let's just start there. Like you said, you, as an experienced SEC quarterback from last year, you cannot just take sacks when you're in the field goal range. Ramos is dealing with a hamstring injury from the last game. Why are you taking sacks? And then some of the throws, as you stated, and you when I watched you all summer long in all fall camp and summer camp, all you stated was, Nuss is going to run. Nuss is going to run. I haven't seen him, exception of that one play in the Clemson game. I don't see him fucking running the ball. Like, what is he doing? He's doing the same shit that he was doing last year.
He did tonight. I don't think he did against Clemson. I think about the couple of times he ran and he got flushed and hit Kyle Parker that led to the end zone. I think of when he ran up into the middle tonight and then hit Nick Anderson. I think of the climb up and then a check down to Caden Durham on the third down that led to a field goal. There were times against Clemson. I don't think that there were a lot of times tonight, to your point.
Right. But what I'm saying is one of the I think it was the Chris Hilton or Kyle Parker, where he, like you said, he had I can see it with the TV. I'm watching on the TV and you can see he had the easy first down and he's not running. He's trusting his arm. We know he got the arm, but just get the first down and you're playing against Louisiana Tech. So that's nuts. Mm-hmm. Secondly, I question the coaching staff. Unless I'm missing something, why the hell is Caleb Jackson? I mean, I get it that Juwan Johnson is an athlete. He may be able to do things. But why Caleb Johnson is freaking 220 he's listed at? Why is he not getting last 2 years, he's barely playing. Am I missing something here?
Yeah, his vision's been really bad.
But, I mean, my point is, as you stated, after Harlem Berry busted a run, right? You're in the 3-yard line. He's a bigger back. Maybe if Harlem Berry couldn't get in the first try or even the second try, bring him in the third try. He's the bigger back. Or use both Harlem Berry and Caleb and use Caleb as a blocker.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he got the first down carry and then he dove from 5 yards out and missed. I mean, I don't know what their answer with Caleb Jackson is, to your point. But what you're saying is, in theory, why can't we have a back that can just go up there and knock somebody's block off and go get some yards? It's basically what you're trying to say.
He's showing he's done it when he played last year. A few times he ran over guys, right? Get 2-3 yards. That's all you need to do. And as you stated, probably it's the money, but the wide receiver is I mean, other than Anderson and Berrien and Xavier Thomas, as you stated, now Florida's gonna know. As soon as Xavier Thomas comes in the backyard, he's running the ball, right? Mm-hmm. But the other problem is, I don't see any guys getting in separation. That's the other problem here. Other than Anderson and Berrien, the other guys coming in, again, I'm baffled. I'm with you on this. Why the fuck is Chris Hilton not playing? He is your best go-to guy to stretch the field. Even if you're not going to throw it to him, use him as a decoy. I'm confused on that. So why are you not playing Chris Hilton?
I don't know. That's a question that's got to be asked to Brian Kelly, if we're being honest.
And then the last one, because I follow you all off season again. The offensive line looks shit right now, especially against Louisiana Tech when they knew what you were going to do. Mm-hmm. But where's Kern? I don't. I mean, unless he's injured or something. I don't know. That I don't know.
I don't know.
And the last thing, as you stated, I saw it. I hate to bear the bad news, but that looks like an ACL injury. I had one similar to that situation. That looks like an ACL injury, man, and that sucks because he was supposed to be our big weapon where we want to go, man.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with the MRI, and we'll go from there. Faisal, appreciate the combo, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right. 225-435-9387. 225-435-9387. It appears that you guys can hear the phone call, or the callers inside the chat. Let me know if you can hear it. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Hey, Blake, it's Dakota.
Did you see the first comment, Dakota, in the last postgame show was, "Hi, it's Dakota." People already knew that you were going to be calling in, and here you are. Good evening, good sir. How are you?
Not really happy, I guess. Didn't enjoy that game. Well, I mean, I liked what our defense did, but I'm disappointed in the offense.
Oh, I agree.
I feel like this defense, if it wasn't for this defense, we could have been in for a really long night. You can't turn over the ball on the first drive. I mean, I get the first pass was, I don't know, wasn't it like deflected and then they picked it off?
Yeah, I mean, he threw it up, it got deflected, and then the safety picked it off. Yes.
That, and like, this was a game that we're supposed to like,
blow.
You know, we're yeah, right, and now we're sitting here like, well, Trey Green is hurt, which I don't like seeing that, and
me either.
Braylon Moore's hurt, and was Butler good? I saw he got hurt too.
Yeah,
good?
I didn't really see him after he kind of got nicked up. I don't. But Brian Kelly said the only 2 injuries they had tonight was Moore and Trey Dez. So I guess I'm hoping that it was only that.
Yeah, I was watching his press conference, and man, all I keep hearing him saying is, "We got to coach better. We got to coach better." I'm like, we say that every time. Yeah.
Well, they do. I mean, they do. I mean, if Brad Davis doesn't hear that conversation and hear like, "Hey, I'm only going to put up with this so much," I don't know what to tell him. I mean, it's just a God's honest truth, Dakota. I mean, you can't listen. If I would have told you Monday of last week that you would have had the same amount of rushing yards as Southeastern against Louisiana Tech, you would have been pissed off. So, I mean, it shouldn't change it now. And quite honestly, how do those guys in the locker room, specifically along the offensive line, how much do they care for Brad Davis? Because there's no way that they can keep looking themselves in the mirror and say that this is acceptable. I mean, I just got to be honest with you. And let's just call it a spade a spade. Okay, you didn't get pushed in the interior last year, and you didn't run the football with two top 3 round draft picks. It's because your interior of your offensive line's been soft. And until we address that as a fan base or just as a media or whatever, we're not going to go anywhere. But you're not physical enough up front in the interior, and you're getting pushed around by inferior opponents.
That too, and the thing that's even more frustrating watching the game, we're struggling to score in the red zone.
Always.
Against Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is it concerns me because Florida, I mean, yeah, they may have lost to USF, but like their defense is better than Louisiana Tech's.
Oh, no shit. I mean, they definitely got a better quarterback.
And let me tell you, man, I mean, I know we lost to them last year, but we got to get some redemption on them, and we got to play better. I know we're going to keep hearing we got to coach better, but it's true. We have to, and we can't look like this. And hopefully we bounce back this week. But it's good talking to you, Blake.
Thanks, Dakota. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. All right, 225-435-9387. 227-435-9387. 225-435-9387. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
What's up, man? This is Andrew.
What did you think of the game, Andrew?
Man, it was horrible. It was horrible. Why can't we get Harlan Berry going?
You did.
Well, we got 6 touches. We need to get him ready for if Durham goes down.
Well, hopefully Durham doesn't go down.
Yeah, hopefully he don't, but he got hurt last year a little bit.
Here's the question. Why can't we get Caden Durham going?
Because the line sucks. Why aren't we in the shotgun all the time?
I mean, you went under center and you couldn't run it either.
Yeah, that's true, man. I just don't know why we're in the shotgun like 90% of the time. It's like all college football is straight shotgun.
I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Joe Burrow didn't have a problem with being in shotgun and running the football.
Yeah, they sure did.
Jaden Daniels didn't have a trouble running the football. I mean, basically what you're trying to say is why can't we run the football? And the truth is, we'll continue to say, is your interior offensive line is not being great.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Well, I love the show, man.
I appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you so much, buddy.
All right, bye.
I think Andrew's had a couple of soda pops. 225-435-9387 is the phone number. You can call into the show. You're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Hey, how's it going, man? This is Landon.
Landon,
I don't know what the hell I just watched.
Okay, well, tell me what else you think.
Well, I just don't understand how. I mean, we're at the 3-yard line. We're playing LA Tech, and we can't even get 3 damn yards.
Yeah.
It don't make no damn sense.
No.
I mean,
nothing.
hell, we could at least. I mean, I just don't even understand. I'm pissed off. This is ridiculous.
I mean, you should be.
It's some sad stuff. I mean, you might as well put in the damn cheerleaders and let them play as the O-line. At least we got something to look at. Like, what the hell is this?
I don't know about that. I don't think they do no better.
I don't know, man. It's just sad to see. And then what's up with, like, we get under shotgun, but we can't run the ball. And then we run these, like, off-end plays that don't make sense. And then you can't even get the wide receivers set. It's just, what are we doing?
I think you're trying to throw as much of the wall as you can to see what sticks, and it's backfiring on you. I mean, if you're going to ask
Florida lose.
Go ahead.
So I get to watch Florida lose. I'm like, all right. And then Troy, I mean, Clemson barely beats them. I'm like, all right, well, that's not looking good for us. We come out there and we look like this, you know?
Yeah. Andrew, here's what this isn't Andrew, this is Landon. Here's what I'd say to you, Landon. Let me ask you, who played for a national title last year? Do you remember?
Yeah, Ohio State.
And who else?
Ohio State and
it's Notre Dame.
I don't know why I'm blanking. Yeah, Notre Dame, yeah.
Who did Notre Dame lose to in the beginning of the season last year? Do you remember?
Not offhand.
It's Northern Illinois. And what I'd say in that is that we can do this transitive property. One team looks good, one team looks bad. Oklahoma just ran the football on Michigan tonight, and they couldn't run the football versus Eastern Illinois. So the reason I say that and bring that up, do I think that you can fix some things? Yes. Do I think schematically you have to first? Yes. But I don't want to go on this transitive property. Oh, Clemson look bad. We look bad. We suck. Because Florida just lost to USF. Last week, Texas A&M gave up damn near 200 yards rushing. So did Ole Miss, by the way. Ohio State played a nothing burger in Grambling today. I'm trying to think who else played. Look, we can't necessarily throw the baby out with the bathwater, but what I'd say is that there are two edges of this sword. The one is you look like shit. You can be better than what you did. But the other edge is if you keep playing like that, teams in this conference are going to beat your ass.
Yeah, I would say it would be LSU's luck for the first play of the drive. Braylon Moore goes out. You know?
Yeah, look,
we get some bad luck at times.
We do. It's not good. You got look. We got to pray to the Bayou Jesus that he can come back. And listen, even if he does come back versus Florida, he's not 100%. I don't know if he can get to 80%. So we just got to pray to God that he can go on next Saturday.
Right. Well, if we don't get some things fixed here with the O-line, we really got to reevaluate our expectations for the year. Especially going up with some of these D-line that we're going to be facing in the SEC. So
very well may, man. I appreciate the phone call, buddy.
All right.
All right, 225-435-9387. 225-435-9387. Broad 337 says, Blake, how can Davis be this amazing recruiter, but we don't have any more dudes? Where are the other dudes at? #pause. I don't know where all the other dudes are at, but you got to be able to develop, because if you can't, you're not going anywhere. Broad 337, as always, I appreciate the super chat. You're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Blake, what's happening? Sidney Dean, what's happening?
Not much, man. What'd you think of the game?
It wasn't the greatest, but it's good problems. It's a good problem to have, because, like you said, we haven't been running the football the last 2 games, but you won, so that's always good. So those are things that you can work on. So maybe, like you said, they looked a little drunk earlier. They maybe was looking forward to next week. They probably heard that Florida loss, so it's one of those. All right, we're gonna do what we can do get next week, and then hopefully we can see what we saw in the second half last week's game next week. You know, the fight that they took it for granted, and once they realize, hey, that this 3-5 defense, that they're not fucking around with y'all. So you playing that same kind of defense next week. That's a good test to see what we playing next week.
I'm just going to tell you right now, and this is just a bona fide truth. I don't give two Rudy poos that Florida lost. I don't give two shits. Here's what I tell you. If you don't think Florida gave up 5 field goals today and lost 5 against, by the way, a South Florida team that has 2 ranked wins on the season. 2. That team might be a playoff team from the G5. So let's not write off Florida at the current moment. But here's what I'd say. You gave up 7 sacks, that same defensive line, the exact same defensive line a year ago. And I think, in my humble opinion, I think Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle for Florida, is the best, not one of, the best interior defensive linemen in the country. So we have our hands full. Your defense better make DJ Lagway's life hell. That's all that I know.
Yeah, you better try to get some turnovers and have a short field and get creative, because for whatever reason, I don't know why we can't take a deep shot. We haven't taken one outside the Barry touchdown. We haven't taken a deep shot for real all these first 2 games, which I'm not understanding. That's supposed to be your bread and butter with the speed on the outside. Also, that crazy offensive line not really giving them the most time, but enough to do, you know what I'm saying, to get the ball out. But we gotta get creative on offense, man, because this is looking like some shit right now. Yeah, what really worries me and bothers me is that you can't, it's not that you can't, it's that you did it on the Baryon against Clemson, right? That should have been upheld. We're all there. We're all there, okay? But the problem is Nuss's overthrow today, that could have easily been 7. Easily been 7. So I do ask the question and just ask, can you do it? And I think Florida is going to play some bump and run on you, and ask if you can do it, because they don't know if you can or not. You're right.
So
I appreciate it, my boy.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, we'll take a couple more here. 225-435-9387. 225-435-9387 is the phone number. Yeah, I see some of the chats in here. I'm not putting up with Notre Dame fans coming up in here and acting all kinds of crazy. Y'all didn't even play this week. Why do y'all always come in here? Cajun Curveball says I quit. When do you quit, Cajun Curveball? What happened? All right, you're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Hey, Blake. How you doing, bro? It's Trevor from NOLA.
Hey, Trevor. What'd you think of the game, man?
To be honest, I was a little disappointed, man. I was hoping for about 21-20 at half. It didn't look good, man. It really didn't look good. I was not looking for a Georgia-Austin P type score. I know they had a rain delay, but we just didn't look good, man. We couldn't run the ball. Last week, we could run the ball. This week, we couldn't run the ball.
Could you run the ball last week?
Caden Durham had 70+. This week, it looked rough to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't very encouraging to me. But they better get right, because next week we got a salty Florida team coming in now. They just beat USF, but I don't know. What did you see? I was not impressed with the offense.
Outside of,
they took a step back.
Yeah, outside of the Harlem Berry 40+ yard run and the Xavion Thomas 48-yard run, they would have 5 other carries where they don't get more than 5 yards. You had Caden Durham with 13 carries with 29 yards. I don't think – here's the crazy thing. I don't think Clemson's defensive line is worse than Louisiana Tech's, and you still only ran for 20 yards more. So what did they do? What they did was they said that this means more to us, and we're going to punch you in the mouth, and you couldn't get a yard. It's just the truth. And I think it shows a lack of focus. I think it shows a lack of toughness, because in games like this, you should be able to run the football. I don't think you ran the football effectively well last week, to be honest with you. I think that you moderately ran the football well and had some big runs that moved the chains. Why it made it seem like you were running the football better was because you kept throwing those short screen routes and then getting in second and third. And so you'd run for 2, then you'd run for 1, and you get a first down. So it seems like, oh, yay, we're running the football. No, you're really not.
No, yeah.
Right? You're really not. It just perceives that you are. So then everybody walks up. So they deceived what Clemson was doing. I don't really think that you ran the football effectively the last 2 weeks, but it is better. It's just not where it needs to be.
I mean, I guess. You know what? You're right, because Caden had that one big run at the first play of the game, and I guess if you take that out, it's not impressive.
It's
really
16
not.
rushes for 40-something yards.
If you take out that first one. So
yep.
I don't know, man. I'm just a little concerned, SEC play coming up, like what you're gonna do. But hey, look, one question for you before I get out of here, because I want to clear it up for you. But so since Florida lost, do you think we get game day next week, or do you think they try and hold off for South Carolina?
No, they're going to Tennessee, Georgia.
So you think they're going to try and come here for South Carolina?
They already announced that. I don't know when they'll come here, to be real with you. When's your next?
Do you think they even come here?
I don't know. I mean, does South Carolina lose 2 games in the meantime?
Yeah, true.
I mean, what is A&M?
I mean, they look bad today. They only beat, who was that? They played some trash team.
We look bad today.
22-44.
Shit, we look bad today.
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
who
right.
knows? Who knows? I appreciate the phone call, man.
All right, brother.
All right, we're going to take a couple more, maybe 1 or 2 more. I don't know. It's we've been here 2 hours. It's 12:01. It's my bedtime. On the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Hey, man, it's Josh in Savannah, Georgia.
What'd you think of the game, Josh, from Savannah, Georgia?
Hey, man, it was pathetic, but, a lot of teams have pathetic performances over the past 2 weeks, so I think we just got to keep on what we're doing.
I don't disagree with that. I think you have a lot of things that you can work on, and defensively, you keep doing what you're doing, you might be pretty good.
I just want to see what your realistic expectations are for the year.
I don't have really realistic expectations because I think you're in a full chaos mode. I think that here's what I truly think. What I think is that you could beat every single team that's on your schedule. I think you can beat Alabama. I think you can beat Oklahoma. I think you can beat A&M. I think you can beat everybody that's on your schedule. I also, moderately speaking, I don't think you're losing to Western Kentucky. But moderately speaking, I also can see ways and reasons why you lose those games. Because if you cannot effectively run the football, and if Garrett has an off night, like, for example, if Garrett had a night like tonight and he has it next week, you can get beat by Florida if he gets pressured as much as he did. So when you ask me my realistic expectations, I think, like I said in the beginning of the season, I think that you can be a 9-3, 10-2 playoff team. Not 9-3 playoff team, but a 10-2 playoff team. I also think that your floor is 8-4. I think your floor is 8-4 is because you can't line up and run the football versus Louisiana Tech. Southeastern Louisiana ran for 128 yards against Louisiana Tech. So did you. That's embarrassing. You can't go 26 of 41 in the pass game either. I think that they look like that they didn't give a shit. But will they give a shit versus Florida? Will they give a shit versus South Carolina and Bama? I think that they can. So you ask me my realistic expectations, and I'm going to cop out and say I don't know. Which team shows up every Saturday? That will be the question.
Yeah, it's true. I just, I think it's
what are your expectations?
I don't think there's a lot of teams in the top 10 that can beat us with our defense, to be fair.
Very fair. I don't disagree. But what if they have an off night? What if they give up 17 points? What if they give up 17 points?
You talking about what about if our defense gives up 17?
What if they give up 17 points? What happens then?
Do you not have faith that we can get 20 or 21?
You only averaging 20 points. You
right.
You got 23 versus Louisiana Tech. I mean, brother,
Yeah,
you
I
got
just have
40
more
points
faith
in
in our
2 games.
defense more than what's that?
You got 40 points in 2 games.
Yeah, that's true. I just have more faith in our defense more than our offense, and I think the defense will carry it. Defense
Okay,
wins
so
championships.
hypothetically, a team scores 17 points, and it comes down to a final drive, and you can't run the football. How do you feel?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man.
Right. I mean, you can't. I mean, look, I'm an LSU fan just like you are. I want them to win every game. I think this defense is very good. To your point, or what you're trying to get to, I agree with you. I think that they're very, very good. However, I saw a 2011 defense who, by the way, for what it's worth, is probably the best defense that we've ever had ever. I saw them give up 30-plus points twice. Okay. Thank you for the phone call, buddy. Uh-oh. It was like, damn. All right, last one. You're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Hey, man, this is Devin calling out of NOLA.
What you think of the game, Devin?
Man, look, it looked more mental than any. Looks more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it looks more mental than anything, man. The O-line, inconsistent. I think they need to get Aaron Anderson involved early.
I agree.
And I mean, going back to last year, when we got 1-0 going, working the middle of the field, it kind of opened up more on the offense. And I feel like Garrett, he low-key got in that mode to where, like, he started making those decisions like he did last year. Like when he could have ran for the first and he tried to force a touchdown, kind of like forcing the issue, you know?
I agree. I do feel like he felt like he had to force an issue tonight. Yes, but to his to the point, the counter argument that you'll get from fans on that one is he kind of did because you couldn't run the football. So what's your counter?
Correct.
What's your counteract to that?
I think the scheme, man. I think we need to stick with a group and go with it. I think the personnel it's so obvious when we're running the ball. When we go under center, I mean, it's not much that we do other than hand it off right tackle or left tackle. It's like it's not much motion in that formation. I just think they need to open the game up more early. Try to offset, get your O-line going. I think we need to take what the defense gives us more rather than try to force the issue going downfield early to players like Hilton to get them involved. I think you got to take the small things to get the bigger outcomes in later on, you know?
I agree. I do think you need to take some shots early. Here's the thing. They did it. It got picked.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
you're right. He makes a better throw there. I don't know if it left his hand bad or what.
Right. He makes a better throw there. It's going for 7. I mean, I think because he beat triple coverage. Let's just call it what it is. He threw a fade route into triple coverage and it got picked. He's got to make a better throw, right? I mean, we're just being real here. So I agree with you. Yep. I do think, look, let me get to your Aaron Anderson point more than anything, more than the vertical stuff. Aaron Anderson had 1 catch at the end of the first quarter against Clemson. I do think it's taken them a little bit too long to get your best player of the football. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs the ball in his hands, man. I mean, whether it's a screen, a slant, a drag, anything. When you get that kid going, it opens up our offense like every time. I mean, when he gets going, we have good drives. And I don't know what they're not seeing in that to not have him on the field. Like, did he start? I didn't see him in the formation start the game.
I didn't notice. I'll have to go back and look at it. I'm not.
Yeah. I think they had, I think it was Hilton, Barion, and Nick. And I mean, I get it. I don't know if they're just trying to get everybody touches, but at some point you gotta get with a group and stick with it and let them gel and let everybody work. I mean, everything else will open up. I feel like if you just get consistent with one group and go.
I don't disagree. I think they're trying to do too much. I appreciate the phone call.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
All right. We're 2 hours and 17 minutes into a post game against Louisiana Tech. I did not anticipate us being here that long for Louisiana Tech, but that's what happens when you don't look impressive in doing it. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.